As you can see, I'm here at the cinema about to see Manikarnika Jhansi Rani. I'll let you know what I think about it after the film. Manikarnika was a young lady born in 1828, the time that the British East India Company was wreaking terrible destruction, humiliation and discrimination on India. Even though Manikarnika was born to Brahmin parents, she was chosen to become Rani, or Queen of Jhansi in North India, because of both her Brahmin and her Kshatriya qualities of courage, strength and intelligence. Her husband, the Maharaja, fell seriously ill. Just before his death, they adopted a son as heir to prevent Jhansi from falling to British rule. The British did not recognise the adoption, and they threw the Rani and her court out of Jhansi. She didn't lose heart. With her people, she fought back and retook her beloved Jhansi. However, in 1858, the British attacked again, with a huge army 3 times the size of Jhansi's entire population. Inspired by their Rani, all of Jhansi fought very bravely and were winning, but after some days, the British bribed some traitors and Jhansi fell. All 20,000 men and women of Jhansi were killed. The Rani knew she had to escape to save the heir of Jhansi, her son. Sadly, the British were attacking every town in the region, and she was murdered at the next town she arrived at. She was only 29, but she had sparked the first war of Indian independence and became Amar, or immortal in history and in the hearts of people. India broke from British rule in 1947. The destruction caused by the British was so terrible that I dare say that India has still not recovered. Just how bad was it? Well, in the 200 or so years that India was under the power of the British, it is estimated that the British caused the deaths of 29 million Indians. The majority of these deaths were caused by the British imposing massive taxes and stealing the crops from Indians, to the point that they artificially caused a serious famine once in every 4 years. Previously to this, India has suffered a serious famine only once in every 118 years. Indians were sold the story that they could escape the famines by joining a British relief camp. In reality, these relief camps were nothing more than concentration camps, like those in Germany and Poland, created under the Nazi regime to exterminate the Jewish race during World War II. At their worst, the British relief camps had an annual death rate of 94%. That means that for every 100 Indians who joined one of these camps, only 6 would be alive by the end of the year. The destruction caused by the British in India extends far beyond the death toll. They made it illegal for Indians to run industries, knocking Indian development back by hundreds of years. They also used every trick in the book in order to crush national pride. They made it illegal to perform the Indian martial arts, such as Kalaripayattu. They banned the ancient religious texts, and even the uttering of the words Vande Mataram, which means, I praise my motherland. Jhansi Ki Rani and millions of Indians fought bravely and gave up their lives to try to stop all this terror. Sadly, British greed was just too strong. So, what did I think of the film? Well, I really enjoyed it. The acting was really strong, the pace of the film really effective. It was a really powerful delivery and full of colour. That's one of the things I love about Hindi films, they're always so colourful. So I would really applaud the Hindi film industry for bringing out this film to bring out the important messages of the film into the Indian public conscience. The two messages that really stick out for me from this film are, firstly, that the greatest, most wise, bravest, most dharmic people throughout Indian history have come from all walks of life. Whether they had wealth or not, whether they had a strong family lineage or not, and whether they were men or women. The second really important message for me was that Dharma prevails. Dharma is all important. Everything is secondary to Dharma. So what is very sad for me is that before coming to see this film, when I was searching online to read about it, the focus of the media was not on the film or its content, but it was on the actors, the directors, and to whom to give credit for the film. And to me, that seems like such an inconsistency with the film. On the one hand, you have the film being about this strong woman and the local people who give up their lives in order to preserve Dharma. And on the other hand, you have the media only focusing on building up the egos of people within Bollywood. It just isn't right to me. In a previous video, I pleaded with the Indian people not to do itself the injustice of aping the West, of imposing Western colonization onto itself. My plea is now to the Indian media. Indian media, you hold immense power over 1.3 billion people. It is your dharmic duty to use that power in a righteous way. By filling your pages with stories that pander to egos, that encourage materialism and westernization, and that brainwash Indians into forgetting and even being ashamed of their own culture and heritage, you are not only doing a great disservice to yourselves, to your friends, family and country, but you are also being disrespectful to the Indians who died throughout history at the hands of foreign invaders. If this video reaches anybody working in the Indian media, I have a request. Please include just one story in your next publication celebrating Indian national pride. Be it about one of the many ancient discoveries made by Indians hundreds, if not thousands of years before they were rediscovered in the West, or perhaps marveling at the true purpose and meaning of the festivals that you celebrate, or perhaps even giving a thoroughly researched and detailed account about one of the millions of heroes who died to save India over the past 800 years. Be proud, be Indian. Har Har Mahadev.